Welcome to Anywhere with Bair. It's a show where a professional boxer ends up being a stand-up comedian on the side. His setup is terrible, but his punchlines are right on the nose. Let's check it out. Hey guys, I'm out in Big Sur right now on a trail at a place called Ragged Point. Now, it's pretty steep, but I think it's gonna be well worth it because it's low tide and we're going all the way to the bottom. Let's go check it out. Today I'll be hiking my way through Big Sur. It's like Little Sur, but big, obviously. It's known for its awesome trees that only grow in this part of the world. In fact, just this part of California. And it's really steep grades. In fact, it has such high grades that it got into a University of California, and that's really tough. I'll let you know. I went on a few hiking trails, but due to it being the weekend, everything was super packed. There were a bunch of people everywhere. Big Sur is really awesome. It has a lot of huge cliffs and beautiful overlooks of the sea, which I pretty much stopped at all of them. I would love to come back here another day and check it out. If you've never been to the Pacific Ocean before, I gotta tell you, it is massive. There's also this really cool old bridge that a lot of people like to illegally base jump off of. Base, if you don't know, stands for Building Antenna Steven Spielberg Made E.T., I think. Coming out of Big Sur and right back into civilization, we start our day in Carmel by the sea. Let's go check it out. Carmel by the sea is basically the town of Carmel by the sea. I know, not very imaginative, but some of the greatest artists and poets and even some of our former presidents live here. And over my shoulder behind me is Pebble Beach, which is owned by Clint Eastwood. So you've got people like Ansel Adams and Jack London and even my Roman friend Biggest Dickus all live here. It's a pretty cool place. Of course, you can't come to this part of California without talking about the missions, which are a weird part of California's history. You see, the Spanish came in and conquered Mexico and then came up into what is modern-day California and decided that they wanted to make the native population into Catholics, which didn't work out too well. In fact, they ended up massacring quite a bit of the native population, and then they abandoned it after they lost Mexico. So we still have them today. We restored them, and it's an interesting part of our history that we still can visit and check out today. But enough about all that. Let's move on up to the next city. Welcome to Monterey Bay. Monterey Bay used to be one of the biggest fisheries in California, let alone the world. They were famous for their sardines in particular. Now, there's a reason for all of those fish species being right there and being plentiful. And that's because Monterey actually has what's called a short shelf. And that is, as the beach goes out, it has a natural drop off to deeper waters. It's not just a gradual run into a bowl, it goes out and off. Well, Monterey's is very close to the shore, which means they have deep water right there. Now, when the ecologists found out that they were overfishing the population and actually going to cause them to go extinct, they turned their fisheries and their canneries into ecological preserves, and they ended up changing their entire structure of their city into a tourist attraction to learn about the aquatic species. Now, I love it because I'm a nerd and I read every bit of information I can about it, but you can definitely go check it out, and I would definitely recommend going to the aquarium when it's open, because when I tried to go it was closed, so it went a little like, let me in, let me in. But I would recommend going when everything starts to reopen after we get a handle on COVID, because they have some really cool bike paths. They have an awesome marina that you can go check out, and they also have a shoreline drive that takes you around to Pacific Grove, which is another little town along the way. It is just a super awesome place to spend your day. One of the coolest people to live in Monterey Bay is the author John Steinbeck. He's responsible for works like The Grapes of Wrath, East of Eden, Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey, the official novelization of the movie Caddyshack. Oh, and Cannery Row. That's why he was here. Well, that's about all the time I have for today. Thanks for coming along with me. Remember, like others, share an awesome adventure, and subscribe to A Better Way of Life. See you later.